Hey everybody, Derek here. I'm here to bring you another video for Z Nation. Z Nation will be premiering soon on September 12th, and in order to basically, help us count down, help us get there if you're excited about the show, I'm going to be doing a couple of videos if I get any information. And today I received an article basically showing the first 3 episode titles and synopsis for each of those 3 episodes for the upcoming Z Nation first season. So I'm going to explain the titles and the synopsis and give my thoughts on them. So in case you don't want to know anything about the series, it is going to contain spoilers. So if you want to go in fresh, not know anything, please do not watch the video as it will contain spoilers. Okay. So, as we know, Z Nation is going to be a zombie apocalypse series. It's going to take place 3 years after the zombie apocalypse has started, and we're going to see basically a person's been bitten and he hasn't turned into a zombie, and they think he might have some antibody or something, in his bloodstream or something that could potentially cure this thing and prevent other people from turning when they're bit. So they're going to be trying to get him to Los Angeles, California, in order to find a cure potentially. And they released the first 3 episode titles and synopsises for them. In episode 1, the pilot apparently has a name, not just pilot. It's called Puppies and Kittens. And the synopsis says, in upstate New York, a zombie baby proves to be an obstacle for a diverse group of survivors as they head cross-country in hopes of creating a cure for the undead condition. It definitely describes the the setting. You have the group of people heading across the country to try to find a cure. The zombie baby, though, I'm very interested to see how a zombie baby is going to become a problem. I mean, unless it's going to be like one of them babies that, can bounce off walls and run around and things like that, I don't see how it's going to necessarily be interesting. Or, I mean, who knows? It might be that they find a zombie baby and you want to put it down because, zombie is a zombie, but they can't bring themselves to do it. So who knows? I mean, it may have the potential to, give an ethical dilemma for the group, which is something that, you see in other media. I remember there was a zombie baby in the Dawn of the Dead remake in 2004, but there was really no like hesitation. It was more like when the baby was born a zombie, they pretty much shot it. You don't get to see it, again, that can be an offensive image. But it might be that it's an ethical dilemma. What do we do with it? Do we take it along because we want to potentially cure it, or do we kill it? That could definitely be an interesting storyline. Plus, the other thing is going extreme like that may be the thing that it's needed to set it apart from Walking Dead, or set it at like a very high standard. They could definitely do something with this. So who knows? It might have a good idea. It may sound a little for now, but it definitely has the potential. It could definitely surprise us in the end. So we'll see what happens. But at least it sets up what the storyline is going to be. So they're still in New York. Now, episode 2 is called Fracking Zombies. And what we have here is in New Jersey, Cassandra's past comes back to haunt her, and the survivors run out of fuel and undertake a dangerous mission in order to fill up. So, from what I understand, I'm not necessarily an expert, but fracking, I think, is when you basically dig into the ground for like minerals, things that are underground. Like sometimes they can be under the mantle or in the earth. But so basically, who knows? They might just be trying to dig up fuel out of a gas station, because obviously pumps aren't going to work without the electricity. But you may end up getting, them digging down into a gas tank in order to get gas for the trip. So that'll definitely be interesting. Plus, we seem to have some character development ideas here. Cassandra's past comes back to haunt her. I mean, for all we know, she might see a zombie that reminds her of somebody from her past life. It might be somebody living that she runs into. You never know. So, again, Being able to develop these characters is definitely going to be important because again, you can't just have a one-dimensional group of characters that are just focusing on a mission. Seeing them and their changing circumstances and seeing challenges come at them will make Z Nation a little more of a popular series rather than just putting them all in like this one-dimensional status of trying to accomplish the mission. So who knows? They may be able to get some character development. I'm definitely interested, and definitely sounds like an interesting concept for an episode. So we'll see how it works. Number three, episode 3 is called Philly Feast, and it reads: In Philadelphia, a group of psychotic outlaws confronts the survivors, and connection exists between the two parties. So, again, this may be an opportunity to show either an antagonist or perhaps that there is. It says connection exists between the two parties, so you may see that these people join up. I mean, Falling Skies did that concept kind of with Pope and his band of berserkers. I mean, when you first run into Pope, he's an outlaw who's holding Maggie and several other people hostage, and they later recruit him to the cause, and he becomes a very valuable fighter. So these people may be outlaws and bad guys, but they may add a good mix in with the rest of the characters. Because again, having different kinds of characters is going to help this series. And introducing new survivors also gives new dynamics, which is again something that Walking Dead does a good job with. When you introduce new characters, you have new dynamics, you have new opportunities, you have a lot of things that you can discover and explore. And I think that adding these new characters into the mix might end up proving valuable for the series. Who knows? They might also end up being antagonists. I mean, they might end up fighting it out. There might be some developments, some conflict there. So we'll see what happens. But they definitely sound like they have some interesting concepts here. The zombie baby still a little is kind of making me a little unsure. But again, I'm not going to let it necessarily rule out me not watching it. I mean, they may have a good idea for it. And again, they might be trying to set the bar high automatically. Walking Dead, the very first scene was Rick shooting a walker that was a little girl. And, that was a very impactful scene, and it definitely set the bar high to show just how graphic and scary and just shocking that this show is going to be. So who knows? The zombie baby may prove to be a very high setting standard for Z Nation and may set it apart from Walking Dead, as well as set it in like a higher, might put it in an equal standing with Walking Dead. So we'll see what happens. I'm interested to see what they have in store for us, and it might be a good thing. So thank you very much for watching, everybody. I'm going to bring this video to a close. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them. Feel free to subscribe, and I have more videos coming for this, Sons of Anarchy and Walking Dead. If anybody has any other suggestions, please feel free to give them. I have a lot of different ideas coming up, and I'm really excited about the upcoming season, of Z Nation. Definitely seems to be like a good story, and hey, I love zombies and I love good zombie stories. So if they're able to provide us with a good story, it may be a series with several seasons to come. I'm very excited. Thank you, everyone, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you.